chaos in the country right now. Soros and the Clinton Foundation fund Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
And if you think Black Lives Matter is a lovingly protesting group, a loving protest group, you know, we don't commit any crimes, we don't do anything bad. We're just here to promote black people. Wrong.
I wish it was that way.
Yeah.
I wish it was that way.
Wrong.
The Black Lives Matter movement has a very anti-Semitic platform. That's a fact. I mean, if you don't understand that, if you're following these people and you're wearing a Black Lives Matter T-shirt and you just recently started doing that, spend some time and research their platform. They have a very anti-Semitic platform. Now, these are people that are preaching equality. Okay, I got some questions. If you're going to preach equality to the world, then what is your problem with Jewish people? Why has everybody always been picking on the Jews, man? God's chosen people. Shit.
I don't know. You know, I mean, their country just became a country in 1967, 53 years ago. You know how I can do that math? Because it was when I was born.
I was going to say because of how old you are.
Right.
So you have this organization that, A, has a very anti-Semitic stance, and B, they have ties to Hamas, who also happens coincidentally to be very anti-Semitic.
And for those of you idiots out there who don't know what Hamas is, it's not the shit to eat with pita chips. That's hummus.
It's a straight up terrorist organization.
Yeah,
so,
go ask Ilhan
Omar.
Omarsky or whatever her name is. Yeah. Whatever. Go ask it. She'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean these are facts. I mean, this isn't just stuff that I'm just pulling out of thin air and just like, hey, let's stir some shit up. This is factual stuff. So, you know, the fact that you guys are wearing these T-shirts, and then you have the audacity when you see somebody that has a shirt on that has a negative message about Antifa, you go, oh, you support fascism. No, Antifa are fascists by the very definition of the word. Like, what? So all these white people and all these people that have all this quote-unquote white privilege, we've already talked about how we feel about that phrase last week, they're putting these shirts on and they're jumping on the bandwagon. They're supporting this organization that has literally got ties to an international terrorist network. Why? Because you don't like Trump being the president? You didn't like the economy improving? You didn't like getting $1,200 stimulus checks? Which,
by the way, it looks like we may go through another round of that.
They'll have more money. They'll have more money to buy vegan meals and send them to CHOP.
Tell you what, everybody in the United States who's a Democrat and receives the next stimulus check, if we get one, take that money and put it towards your Democratic campaign, okay? Take all that money, all y'all sign your checks over to the Democratic National Convention.
Don't buy new J's.
Nope. No, don't need no rims.
Nuh-uh. Don't get those fly sunglasses you've been hanging out waiting to get.
Don't. And for everybody else, don't go buy whatever the hell you're going to buy. Give it to the Democratic National Convention, okay? That's not going to happen. You know why? Because you really don't care that fucking much about the issue.
You're not that committed.
No,
you're like committed to here, but oh no, this is going to benefit me, so I'm not that committed. But I still talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, people like that, A, have no integrity at all. And B, they don't have a set of moral values that mean shit.
No, every single one of them that won't live up to their moral convictions or their God-given convictions that they have. It doesn't have to be moral. And give that check over. You know what? Good on you. You stood for something and you meant it and you proved it. But none of you guys are going to do that because you're not really what the fuck you think you are. You're nobody. You're a follower. And you know what? Block me. I don't care. You're a follower.
I dare you. I dare you.
You're a follower. If you were a leader, you'd be the first one giving up the $1,200. So how about that? All you leaders of your little BLM clubs all over the place, all y'all, give up your $1,200 to the Democratic National Convention. Not one of you will.
What's wrong?
But
prove it wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Fight me.
Here, here's the other thing that I think is so ironic. I got into a discussion. I guess we'll term it as a discussion on Twitter, and I was over the statues. I mouthed off about how I felt about the statues. This chick that is straight up far left, she starts railing on me about how that's their right. That's their First Amendment right. Okay, number one, you're not a constitutional lawyer because you have no clue what the First Amendment is actually meaning. That's obvious. But you're going to talk to me about rights. You are far left. You have this set of beliefs and this narrative that you're following, and it's very communist. I mean, the far left is just straight up communism. Now, you name one country that you've ever learned about that was communist, that their citizens had any kind of rights. None of them.
You people are going to follow your leaders off the cliff if you don't open up your eyes and see where the hell you're going, dummies.
I mean, and here's the deal. This is in no way to be taken as, oh, Titty and Shiner, they're racist. They support racism. Racism is wrong. Let's just get that out of the way. I fully support a world where we don't have racism.
Absolutely.
And I've mentioned on this show before, I've been accused of being a white supremacist a lot from people, but I've had plenty of friends that treated me well that were of other races. I didn't have a problem with them. They didn't have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with your race. I just have a problem if you're a dick. You know? That's just what it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, don't care what I realize it's tough for a black person, especially for a black person who's got some money and goes down and buys himself a nice car. Now, not a great car. Here's the funny thing, too. A cop is never going to pull over a car on 24s and think that it might be stolen, okay? The cop is already going to know that the idiot who owned the car has misspent his money like nuts.
He blew that stimulus check
on $4,000 worth of rims.
Yeah.
For your 1989 Ford whatever. He's not going to pull you over because he's thinking that the car's stolen. By no means. Now, if you're driving around in a 2019 Mustang, you're probably going to get pulled over all over the place. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that because that is kind of profiling.
Okay, now here, wait. You just said the word profiling. Okay, profiling is based on statistics, and we talked about statistics last episode. It's not
correct. True.
That is what profiling is based on. Is it right? No. Is it great that it's used? No. Does it work? You're goddamn right it works. Now, that being said, there are going to be the people like you're referring to that get caught up in that definitely don't deserve it.
Correct.
Now, me, and of course, I've never been in that spot. Well, I've had dealings with law enforcement, but I've never been in a spot that I can say that I know for a fact I would do this. To me, it's all about the greater good. I hate that I had to go through that, but if me going through that helps them utilize those tools and take 6 other maggots off the street, okay, it's for the greater good. Okay, I don't like it happened to me, but he took 6 maggots off the street that night. It worked.
Here's something else. So let's say you're in your Ford Crown Vic, your 89 Ford Crown Vic on 24s. Nah, fuck it. We're going to say 26s. Let's shoot for the moon.
Spinners, too.
Shoot for the moon. Spinners are over, dude. Spinners are gone.
Spinners, man.
Spinners are gone.
I still want spinners, though.
All those $8,000 spinners that those motherfuckers bought, they pulled them off and put new ones on. So, all right. So now you're rolling around on your 26s. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Police officer pulls you over. That's not profiling. That's kind of suspicious behavior, right? 3 o'clock in the morning, nothing's open, and you're driving around kind of slow. Smoke coming out the windows. And you wonder why the officer pulled you over? Well, nothing good happens after midnight. I always tell my kids that. Nothing good happens after midnight.
And there's a lot of truth to that.
Absolutely. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, what are you really doing? And you look, if you're 6 blocks away from Walmart and you were heading exactly that way and there's nothing wrong with your car, if I'm an officer, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to pull you over. I don't care what color you are. And chances are the windows are so damn tinted, you ain't going to see anyways.
True, yeah.
You know, you can't really tell color through limousine tint, but it's pretty freaking suspicious that you're out here at 3 o'clock in the morning in a $1,500 car with $8,000 wheels. Is this a drug thing going on? Not real sure.
The perception that profiling is all about the color of skin, and it's not.
No.
That's not how that works.
Profiling is you're there at 3 o'clock in the morning when nobody else is, and you're not supposed to be there.
And you're dressed a certain way, like some people that are involved in the drug trade, and
oh yeah,
there's a whole lot of contributing factors. It's not just the color of skin.
And trust me, they're not pulling you over because your pants are around your ankles, walking around like idiots. They just laugh at that.
Well, if profiling doesn't work, how come the behavioral analyst unit for the FBI exists? Because they're pretty good at profiling.
Damn good at profiling.
Like, has anybody ever thought about that? Like, it obviously works. Does that say it's perfect? No, it's not perfect.
No, but it. Shiner and I will both agree and give you this world's still got a long way to go when it comes to everybody getting along. And honestly, I don't know if it'll ever reach it. I don't know if it'll ever be there.
Point, I don't see that ever happening. Or not in our lifetime.
No, but for me to have to pay for what somebody else's great granddad did.
Homie, they're to the point now that they want us to apologize for things that happen in today's times. I don't see. They're like, I saw one of them make that argument. Well, it's about the systemic racism in our culture today. I don't see a lot of racism. I don't know black people that'll tell me they deal with a lot of racism.
No.
So what do you mean? No, like, I'm not going to apologize. I didn't do anything to the black community. I keep saying it. I didn't do anything.
No. And all the black people who were killed in Tulsa during the race massacre in 21?
Mm-hmm.
21, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The race massacre. I'm horribly sorry that happened because that was atrocious. But
that was appalling.
I can't apologize for somebody else for doing it. I'm simply just showing a little bit of comfort because that sucks. But I didn't.
I'll be the first to admit it was wrong. It should have never happened. But I'll also be the first to tell you, no, the city that I live in does not owe you money because we had a race riot here.
No.
It was horrible that it happened. It should have never happened. It was a black stain on Tulsa history. I probably shouldn't have used that word. But,
I was going to say that. You just snuck that one right in there, didn't you?
Right in the foot. Bam! But I mean, it was a dark time in Tulsa. It was a part of our history. Don't look at me like that. Moving on.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying it should have never happened, but it doesn't mean that you are owed anything. You didn't deal with it. The last I heard, we had one surviving lady in Tulsa, or at least in Northeast Oklahoma, from that time period that was obviously a small child when it happened, but I think I heard that she passed away. I don't think there's anybody living now that experienced any of that firsthand.
Yep. I'm sorry. I don't owe you anything for it. I didn't do it.
Me that deal off Facebook where that chick commented that they needed to start being paid. How much? To what degree is that a victim mentality right there?
If you want to be a leader, you go ahead and pay them out of your own money,
out of your stimulus check.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, man. It's this. This is not anymore about us being equal. This is about being made to feel guilty that we're white, and I don't feel guilty that I'm white. It's okay to be white, I'm
Heinz 57. I got so much different shit in me. You can call me European, Irish, British, Eastern United States-ish.
Actually, Hispanic. When you get down to it,
German, a little bit of Slavnik in there, Heinz 57 stuff. You know what I mean? All right, let's spin the wheel again. Breaking news is the category, and you know what? There is news that just broke a little while ago in Tulsa. I know this is not going to affect the rest of the world. Most people, well, they're not going to care anyways.
You don't know. This could catch on.
Unless you're American. And if you're American,
this is going to piss you off.
This